For 6,000 years, humanity understood life through the lens of good and evil. In the last 70 years, we've convinced ourselves we know better because we split the atom. Yet all our progress has given us is confusion, division, and decline. We saw it during COVID. Told not to wear masks, then forced to wear them. Told to stay 6 feet apart, except when eating, drinking, or rioting for justice. Churches were shut down, but mobs in the streets were called safe. The hypocrisy wasn't science, it was social engineering. We see it now in gender politics. Women told they only matter if they act like men, forced into engineering quotas while their natural strengths in medicine, teaching, or family care are belittled. When quotas replace merit, disaster follows, like the FIU bridge collapse, where lives were lost because politics overshadowed competence. In Sweden, the most egalitarian country in the world, women given full freedom still choose caring professions, while here they're pressured to validate themselves by imitating men. And now, insult to injury, women are forced to compete against men claiming to be women in sports, erasing women's rights entirely. Culturally, the contradictions pile up. A career criminal like George Floyd is elevated into a saint, riots justified in his name. While just weeks ago, a violent offender repeatedly freed by a judge murdered a Ukrainian refugee on camera, declaring he killed her because she was white. Silence. No marches, no outrage. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, his widow forgave his killer, yet late-night comedians joked about it before his body was in the ground, while Roseanne Barr was canceled for mistaking Obama's staffer for being white. One is mocked, the other is erased. Double standards everywhere. And think about the contrast. In the 1960s, when MLK, JFK, or RFK were killed, comedians like Jack Paar, Johnny Carson, or Dick Cavett would never have dreamed of making grotesque jokes so soon after national tragedy. There was a basic human decency, a respect for grief. Today, that's gone. Roseanne Barr was killed off her own show for being a Trump supporter, while Jimmy Kimmel is free to make revolting remarks. And the disturbing part is not that government censors him, but that the owners and networks seem perfectly fine with it. Roseanne was showing that Trump supporters and non-Trump supporters could live in the same household and was killed off, avoiding any semblance, even fictional, that we can all live together. Charlie Kirk was showing we could have debate, and he was assassinated. And then comes the absurd. Actress Alyssa Milano proudly declared she was getting rid of her Tesla to fight white supremacy, and replacing it with an electric Volkswagen. Apparently she forgot, or never knew, that Volkswagen was literally founded by Adolf Hitler as part of the Nazi regime. That's the level of ignorance and hysteria we're dealing with. Meanwhile, Mar-a-Lago is raided. Trump is dragged through endless legal maneuvers to keep him off the ballot, while Biden's allies hand out blanket pardons like candy, even to those who falsely inflated January 6th into the worst crime in American history, worse than 9/11s or Pearl Harbor. Trump's words are twisted endlessly. The very fine people hoax about Charlottesville was debunked, yet it's still repeated like gospel. At the same time, Hollywood and media flood us with Nazi fantasies, as if the dead are the real threat, while living enemies, China, Russia, Iran, Cuba, go ignored. Algorithms push division, Marxist tactics are recycled, and even Jews are now called Nazis on our campuses. In the 1960s, we knew Soviet and Cuban intelligence were stoking unrest. Today, the funding lines are murkier, but the tactics are the same. Call your enemies fascists, destroy faith, fracture society, and leave America hollowed out. And through it all, our debt soars past $40 trillion. While bridges collapse, cities rot, and music, film, and culture decline into propaganda, we are distracted with division. It looks less like democracy and more like a mass psychological operation. Let me make it perfectly clear. I have no dog in this race. I have always been an independent. But I do have eyes. And apparently so do many other Americans, which is why I suppose President Trump was elected by the ultimate jury of his peers, the voters. I still hope and pray that we can be civil to each other and not be deplatformed or demonetized until we're forced to ask ourselves, am I withdrawing in disgust, or is it just apathy? I never even noticed Trump at first. I saw him as that rich guy on The Apprentice, the man the left used to adore, who even appeared on Sex and the City. When he ran for president, I was stunned. I liked Reagan. I also liked Clinton. I liked that Obama helped Americans get health insurance. But it seems like no matter what Trump does, The other side will go against it, and it feels like insanity. I know there are bad Democrats and bad Republicans and vice versa. The good thing for voters was if one party did not deliver, you voted for the other. But that is increasingly being taken off the table for the voters with this tribalism. This division must stop, because I also know conservatives would not have had a summer of love over Charlie Kirk. They were hurting just as bad, if not worse, and to deny that is to deny reality, which is now very much in vogue, and the kind of thinking that makes planes fall out of the sky or bridges fall on our heads. If this keeps up, America will collapse not from invasion, but from rotting within. The only way out is to return to what gave civilization strength: truth, merit, family, faith, and the courage to call good and evil by their names. Without that, we will keep fighting phantoms while our real enemies tighten their grip. If you found value in this content, please like, share, and subscribe. And most importantly, comment below. We believe in the equal exchange of ideas, and your voice matters in keeping this conversation alive.